I had to figure out the problem in my head. But today, as of February 2020, the total student loan debt in the United States was $1.6 trillion. Not million, not billion, but trillion dollars. That's about 33% increase from just 5 years ago. The average individual student loan debt is $32,731. That's an increase of 21% from 5 years ago. Student loan debt is the second highest, and again, the second highest consumer debt in the United States. Only mortgage debt is higher. So I've received and have reviewed the slides that you are about to see. I strongly suggest, and I'm going to say it again, I strongly suggest you get a pen and paper and take notes. You're going to receive valuable information on managing student debt. If you are listening by the phone, you can watch on www.facebook.com/CP Brenda Jones, and you will be able to see the slides as the information is given. You will also have an opportunity to ask questions at the end by pressing *9 on your phone or typing your question on Facebook. So I'm now going to turn it over to Sue. And I think Sue Stoddard?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was pronouncing that right. And Sue is going to conduct today's presentation. Good morning to you, Suzanne.
Good morning to you, Brenda Jones. Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you for being here with us.
Okay, so what this is going to be about is understanding student loans. There's a lot out there. There's federal, there's unsubsidized, subsidized, and private loans. I can't see the presentation. Okay, who we are borrowers helping borrowers. We are not financial aid attorneys. We don't work with the student loan government. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the presentation. It's very small. Can you make that a little larger? Who's ever managing it?
I'm full screen.
Got it. Sorry, there was something missing on mine. Okay, thank you. Most of the information shared today applies to the federal student loans only. And at the end of the presentation, we will have a Q&A session. Next. Okay. This cost per credit by college sector, this was in 2018. I wasn't able to find one for 2020, but this gives you an idea on how much you can spend per college credit. If you go to a two-year community college, you can see that the credit is about $135 per credit hour. Most classes are 3 to 4 credits that you, when you're taking just one class. As you can see in the 4-year private, the cost of 1 credit hour is $1,039. And then you have 4-year for profit, and you have 4-year public. So there's a lot of different things to take into consideration when you are going to school. A great resource for Fording College in Michigan. There's the Fording College in Michigan guidebook. and then Google michigan.gov to find information about college scholarships grants. You might want to take a picture of this with your phone if you have that available to get those links. Okay, TRIO. The federal TRIO programs are federal outreach and student services programs designed to identify and provide services for individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds. TRIO includes 8 programs targeted to serve and assist low-income individuals, first-generation college students, and individuals with disabilities to progress through the academic pipeline from middle school to postbaccalaureate programs. Colleges are awarded a certain amount of slots to fill with this grant. Make sure to ask your college about the TRIO. You can go to U.S. Department of Education for more information. And also, for more information on the 8 specific programs, there's a link at the bottom for wikipedia.org. And also, Wayne State offers many of these programs. So you can also Google Wayne State TRIO, and it'll pull it right up to the page on Wayne State with all the information. You don't have to pay for basic student loan help. You don't have to pay to receive help with your loan services, such as consolidating your federal student loans or applying for an income-driven repayment plan. If you are contacted by a company asking you to pay enrollment, subscription, or maintenance fees to enroll in a federal repayment plan or forgiveness program, you should walk away or just hang up. These services and more can be completed by your servicer for free. And quite frankly, it's pretty easy, and you might be able to just do it yourself. If you want to learn more, check out the Homeroom Office blog of the U.S. Department of Education. There's that link right there. I would take a picture of that. You can also go to studentaid.gov to find your federal student loans, and it has all the information there to be able to consolidate them. Do you know what type of student loans you have? Federal versus private loans. Federal loans are subsidized. They have a fixed interest rate. They have affordable plans, repayment programs. They have hardship deferment. They have default rehab, and they have loan forgiveness. Private loans do not have a lot of these things. Their interest, you could be getting a variable interest or fixed interest when you take that out. You're usually going to either a bank or a credit union, or maybe even the school to secure a private loan. The fixed interest rate, again, you would choose between a variable interest rate or a fixed interest rate at the time you check it out. You are also paying interest from the day you receive those loans. The interest is added daily. Federal subsidized student loans, the interest is deferred while you're in school. The U.S. Department of Ed covers that cost, and also for 6 months after you leave school, they cover the cost of that interest. Where do you find your federal student loans? You go to studentaid.gov, and you put your information in there. You're going to create an account, and all of your federal student loans are going to populate. And you'll see exactly how many you have, what you owe, what year you took it out, and the interest rate for each one. Okay, and here it is, create a new Fsa Id. So when you go on the studentaid.gov, you're going to have to create a new ID to manage your student loans. Exploring repayment options, income-driven repayment plans. There's many different types of that. You have revised pay-as-you-earn. They take 10% of your income into consideration when they develop how much you're going to pay each month, and that each year you have to reapply. Pay-as-you-earn. It's similar to the revised pay-as-you-earn, in that as you earn more money, your payment amount is going to increase. New income-based repayment. This is based on your income and the number of dependents you have. you could actually be enrolled in a repayment plan and have to pay $0, and it'll count as a payment, or maybe $13 a month, and it'll count as a payment. And again, each year you have to reapply and resubmit. And basically the income-based repayment and income contingent repayments are similar in that. But as you can see, the first new income-based repayment is 10% of the amount of your income. The next one, the income-based repayment, the older one, it was 15% of your payment is going to be 15% of your income. And then the last one is 20%, which means your payment is going to be higher than what the new income-based repayment at 10% would be. There is a loan simulator on the studentaid.gov website, and it's a pretty cool new tool to help make decisions about your student loans. Use it to find a repayment plan that meets your needs and goals, or to decide whether to consolidate your student loans. Important results of the loan simulator are for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. You are encouraged to review all the available options and make decisions about borrowing and repayment that align with your individual goals. And there's a link to go right to that loan simulator on studentaid.gov. Choose the right repayment plan for you. If you are enrolled in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, make sure your repayment plan will count. The graduated repayment plan may better meet your repayment goals, but payments made on this plan will not count for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Payments made on the income contingent repayment plan will count towards that. So it's very important when you enroll in a repayment program each year that if you're in that Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, that you're in the correct repayment program. And what that program is after 10 years or 120 payments, your loan is forgiven. So it's a really good program. Older loans such as the FFEL plus loans for graduate students can qualify for different income driven if consolidated into a direct consolidation loan. Okay, step 4, enroll in a repayment plan. Pay on time. You can sign up for automatic payments and you'll receive a 0.25% rate reduction. If you are struggling to make your payments, contact your servicer. If you don't know who has your student loans, again, go on studentaid.gov and you'll be able to find out who is managing your loans. Never pay an outside company for help with your federal student loans. Your loan servicer will help you for free. So contact your servicer. If you don't know who your servicer is, go on studentaid.gov and you'll be able to find that information on your own. Student loan forgiveness programs. Income-driven repayment forgiveness. The federal government offers 4 main income-driven repayment plans, which allow you to cap your loan payments at a percentage of your monthly income. When enrolled in one of these plans, your remaining loan balance will be eligible for forgiveness after 20 or 25 years, depending on the plan. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is available to government and qualifying nonprofit employees with federal student loans. Eligible borrowers can have their remaining loan balance forgiven tax-free after making 120 qualifying loan payments. Teacher loan forgiveness. Teachers employed full-time in low-income public elementary or secondary schools may be eligible for teacher loan forgiveness after working for 5 consecutive years. They can have up to $17,500 in federal, direct, or Stafford loans forgiven. To qualify, teachers must have taken the loans out after October 1st, 1998. And then there's military student loan forgiveness and assistance. Military personnel in the Army, Navy, Air Force, National Guard, and Coast Guard may qualify for their own loan forgiveness programs. Other student loan forgiveness programs. Student loan forgiveness for nurses. Nurses shouldering student debt have several options for student loan forgiveness: the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, Perkins Loan, Cancellation, and the Nurse Corps loan repayment program, which pays up to 85% of qualified nurses' unpaid college debt. State-sponsored repayment assistance programs, licensed teachers, nurses, doctors, and lawyers in certain states may be able to take advantage of programs to assist with repaying debt. Contact your state's higher education department to find out if you qualify for a program. Obama student loan forgiveness. There's no such thing as Obama student loan forgiveness. However, some student debt relief companies use it as a catch-all term for free federal programs, which they charge to enroll borrowers in. If you encounter a company offering Obama student loan forgiveness, consider it a red flag. Enrolling in federal programs like income-based repayment and federal student loan consolidation is free to do on your own through the Department of Ed. And you can do that at studentaid.gov. Loan cancellation and discharge. If you become total and permanent disability discharge, you can apply for your student loan debt to be discharged. If your school closes, borrowers who attended school that closed before they could complete a degree, they have to go on studentaid.gov, get the form, complete that, and submit that. False certification of eligibility. If the school falsely certified your loan eligibility or as a result of identity theft, borrow defense to repayment is a federal student loan forgiveness program for borrowers whose schools violated certain laws or defrauded or misled students. And if you are wondering if you might qualify for one of those, go on to studentaid.gov and you'll find out if your school is one of those schools that are listed. Death discharge is a parent plus loan, which can be discharged if you die, become totally and permanently disabled, or if your loan is discharged in bankruptcy, which is very rare. You may also be discharged if the child for whom you borrow passes away. The caveats of student loan. Legitimate federal forgiveness, cancellation, and discharge programs are free through the Department of Education, but there are other costs to consider. Forgiven loans may be taxable. Generally, forgiven, canceled, or discharged student debt is taxed as income, unless you were required to work for a certain type of employer or in a certain profession to qualify for the forgiveness. For instance, loan discharged through public service loan forgiveness are not taxable, but debt forgiven through income-driven repayment plans is taxable. Forgiveness is an option for defaulted loans. You'll need to use consolidation or rehabilitation to get defaulted federal student loans in good standing before they're eligible for forgiveness programs. If your loans won't qualify for forgiveness, student loan settlement may reduce your debt. In severe cases, defaulted federal loans are eligible for discharge programs. But beware of scams. So-called debt relief companies claim to get rid of debt but rarely deliver after charging already struggling borrowers high upfront fees. The only way to get debt discharged is through the legitimate government programs above, and it costs nothing to apply to them. Consequences of defaulting. What happens if you default? You're ineligible for financial aid. You're ineligible for repayment plans. Your wages can be garnished, your Social Security benefits, and your income tax withholding. Driver's or professional license could be revoked. Up to 40% fees added. It is reported to the credit bureau, so that will affect your credit score if your student loans are in default. And if you're trying to purchase a home, that student loan in default is going to affect your ability to get a loan. You may be ineligible for military or law enforcement and other. Default loan rehabilitation. Federal student loans in default can be returned to good standing by completing the loan rehabilitation program. Borrowers must make 9 payments within 10 months. Payments are voluntary and must be reasonable and affordable. And I personally have a family member that is going through this right now, and his payment is only $5 a month. Initially, reasonable and affordable means 15% of discretionary income. Borrowers can request payments as low as $5 per month, and the program can only be completed once. Once you go through this rehab and you get your student loans back in good standing, if it happens again, unfortunately, you could have your wages garnished or your income tax taken. What happens if you never pay your student loans? If you ignore your student loans, your balance will keep growing as interest occurs. Plus, you'll likely owe hefty additional fees. If your debt gets moved into collections and if you default on federal student loans, the government can take your tax refund or up to 15% of your wages. How do you contact ED's default resolution group? There are a variety of ways to contact them. You can take a screenshot of this, but you can also find this information on studentaid.gov. The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, known as the CARES Act. Under the CARES Act, payments on federal student loans, including direct loans, Perkin loans, and federal family education loans owned by the U.S. Department of Education, are automatically suspended from March 13th through September 30th of this year. And that means eligible federal loan borrowers do not have to make payments. While loan payments are suspended, interest will not accrue. And you don't have to do anything to make that happen. They did it automatically. Wayne Metro Cares. At this time, Wayne Metro Cares has a relief and recovery services in an effort to respond to the immediate needs of Wayne County residents. We have implemented the Our Cares Relief and Recovery Services through this new initiative. Residents may qualify for assistance in the following areas: food and income supports, which would include formula, diapers, wipes, and personal protection equipment; water and energy assistance, and also if you're applying for utility assistance, you do not have to apply through DHS first and be approved. You can just contact Wayne Metro Connect Center at 313-388-9799. They are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We also are assisting with rent and mortgage assistance, funeral assistance support, property tax assistance, and emergency plumbing repairs. You can also go on our website at waynemetro.org/cares and complete one application and apply for multiple programs.
Thank you so very much for that presentation. I told you, get your pen and get your paper and be prepared to take some notes, because that was truly some good information that we just received. So I want to thank you again, Suzanne, for providing that information to our listeners and to those that are watching on Facebook. And it was truly some good information. Remember, one of the ones that I truly paid attention to, and that was be aware of scams. Be aware of scams. And I can tell you one call I get almost daily, and that is a call that says, we're here to help you pay your student loan. And I don't have a student loan. And I get that call every single day. Every single day. And so there are people that are out there that know that people have student loans right now, that they're desperate right now, as we know what's going on with the COVID-19, and everyone is not receiving income the way that they had been receiving income. And they're wondering, what do we do about our student loan right now? And they don't want it to affect their credit scores. So now you will have an opportunity to ask questions. If you have questions, You can press *9 on your phone, and we will call the last 3 digits of your phone number, or you can type your question on Facebook. Do we have any callers? We have any callers who have questions? Okay, looks like no one has any student loans. Again, if you have a question, you can press *9 on your phone, and we will call the last 3 digits of your phone number, or you can type your question on Facebook. Do we have any questions on Facebook? And I am just being patient because I just cannot believe with all the questions that we get from people asking us about student loans that no one has any questions regarding student loans. To my host, do we have anyone waiting to ask a question? And to my staff who is viewing Facebook, do we have any questions from Facebook? And I do see a hand right now, and I think the last 3 digits of that hand is 682. Caller, the last 3 digits of the phone number is 682. And you are unmuted.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh, good morning, Ms. Councilman Jones. My question is about this. You said that you could get some finance. I am in college. I'm working on my doctoral degree, my 5th semester. But my question was on getting some help with utilities and my water bill. There was a number she gave out, and she said it's so fast, I was unable to write it all down.
I got that. Sorry about that. It's 313-388-9799.
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. 313-388-9799.
Okay, and I did have a question too. Thank you. My question was, I noticed Monday there was a place that we could go to get food, and I could not make out the address. I saw like 182, but I couldn't see the rest because it was in real small letters. So is that going to go on again, or is that the only time that is to occur?
Are you referring to Wayne Metro program to assist, or what? I'm trying to see exactly which program you're referring to regarding food.
Okay, yes, ma'am. There was food being given out this past Monday. I think your name was on the info, and it said 18260 or something, Wyoming. And I couldn't really make out the last numbers, but I was wondering, are you going to have another food drive like that again?
Well, I can tell you that there have been different food drives going on throughout the city. The DAAA, Detroit Area on Aging, has been doing different food drives at different places. I know this morning they had a food drive going on at one of the churches this morning. And I'm trying to find that location, but Detroit Area on Aging has been giving out boxes with different food drives at different churches. I do know that. And if you continue to watch, I will continue to try to find that information on this morning, but I don't have it right in front of me right now. But we will search for that information and we will give it out. I don't know what time, I don't remember what time the drive was, but I will search.
Yes, ma'am. I will continue to watch. And if you see any other ones coming up, please let me know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any additional callers?
Madam President, we do have a question from Facebook. And that question is, how do you apply for teacher loan forgiveness?
That's a good question. You can go on studentaid.gov. They have the forms on there to apply for it. You would have to, just similar to public service loan forgiveness, you would have to apply each year and be making some sort of payment, even if you're in the income contingent payment plan program and your payment is 0 each month. You just have to be enrolled in that. The teacher forgiveness is for elementary and high school students or high school teachers in certain areas. So depending upon what school that you teach in, then you may qualify for the teachers forgiveness program. But it's all that information is on studentaid.gov.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
As Madam President said, if you have a question or comment, you can press *9 on your phone, and that will allow you to raise your hand. Council President always says that the only bad question is the one that is not asked. So if you have a question about student loans, while you have these expert panelists here, you should probably try to get your question in. Once again, that is *9 if you have a question about student loans.
I do not see any hands raised right now. Do we have any additional questions on Facebook?
Madam President, we're not getting anything in right now.
Okay, then I am not going to keep my panelists here if there are no questions for them. I know these days are extremely busy because we have been doing so many Zoom meetings these days. And I know I have another one this evening. So if there are no additional questions, what I would like to do is make sure the participants realize again that we are being screened on Facebook and that you can go back and watch it on Facebook, or you can tell someone to tune in into my social media and they will be able to watch it on Facebook. I do see 682 has their hand raised, 682.
Yes, ma'am.
You are.
Yes, ma'am. I'm calling to request, and you said that you would be speaking tonight. Is it the same phone number, and what time would it be, please?
We have spiritual and mental illness tonight, and the spiritual and mental illness healing will be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We have a Zoom call this evening.
Is the same number as this one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If we don't have any additional callers, was there any last words that my panelists would like to add to our listeners? Suzanne, were there any last words you would like to give to our listeners?
Well, I would like to add that the CARES Act also covered financial aid assistance for college students that might need help with technology or food or rent, the college, you would have to contact your college to see if they applied for that financial aid and to see if it's available for you.
Okay. Thank you so very much. And did we have any additional questions on Facebook? One last thing, if you can give a phone number that if someone comes up with a question again, they can contact you, or the number that they can contact to get additional information on the student loans. If you can just give that number and that email address one more time, please.
Okay. Well, my phone number is 313-463-5542. And also the website for studentaid.gov has a wealth of information on there.
Okay, that's studentaid.gov is the website.
Correct.
Okay. If we have no additional questions, I again would like to ask you to join me tonight at 5 p.m. for our series on spiritual and mental wellness, when we will focus tonight on helping children to cope with COVID-19. I also asked you to join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. We will have a special edition of Coffee and Conversations, where I will give an overview of an ordinance that I am introducing, which is the Community Engagement Ordinance, and I welcome any comments and feedback. Also on Monday at 6 p.m., we will have a millennial roundtable discussion on community engagement, and also with them having their voices heard. You could follow us on social media. As I indicated, this is being streamed live on Facebook. And to get my social media information, you can call 313-224-1245 to get the dates and the times of my digital community outreach and to get all of the social media information. We are staying home. We are staying safe. However, my office is constantly checking voicemails. So if you call and you have a question or you have a concern, please leave your name. Please leave a phone number, and someone from my office will call you back to address your question and your concern. Again, I'd like to say thank you to the team at Wayne Metro Community Action Agency, and she gave some very good information today. We may not have people watching or listening right now that have student loans, but I know there are so many people out there who have student loans, who have these questions. And so I asked you if you will share the information with others. And for the caller of 682, I was still searching for the information regarding the church. And I know it's the church on off of Livernois and Grand River. And I still don't see the time that they were doing that food giveaway. If you call my office and leave your phone number, and we know that there's some food giveaways that come up, I will make sure my office has that information. If you have an email address and you send that email address to me, we will make sure we forward you the information that we receive regarding food giveaways of the such. And you can also leave that email address on our office number, again, 313-224-1245. And I know there were boxes of food that they were giving away. And I think the boxes weighed like 20 or 25 pounds. And so they were heavy boxes with food in it. Remember, everyone, we are still under Governor Whitmer's stay home, stay safe executive order. Remember to wear your mask whenever you leave home. Wash your hands when you're at home or when you're someplace that there are water and soap. Wash your hands with hot water. Practice social distancing. And I would like to thank my staff who has never missed a beat. And I think once we started working from home, they started working even harder and making sure we educated everyone even more. I do see a hand that is raised. I do see a hand that is raised. Ms. Wesley? Ms. Wesley, you had your hand raised. Okay. She had her hand raised and I do not hear anything coming from her. Did you have a question from Facebook or did you have something, Ms. Wesley? Okay, I'm going to assume she hit the hand raise button by mistake. And again, I'm going to just ask everyone to join us at 5 p.m. today. And I know it was raining where I am, so stay dry and have a great rest of the day. And again, thank you to my panelists. Everyone stay safe, and until we meet again, remember, practice that social distancing and wash your hands when there is no warm water and soap. Use hand sanitizer. Be safe, God bless, and we will talk to you soon. This will end our meeting for this morning.